If you've ever walked down Houston Street in downtown San Antonio, you've probably passed one of the city's most recognizable landmarks without even realizing its incredible story. Long before smartphones, long before wristwatches were common, one cast iron clock kept an entire city on time. This is the story of the Hertzberg Clock. Standing today at the corner of Houston and North St. Mary Streets, the Hertzberg Clock has been a downtown landmark for well over a century. But its story actually begins in 1878, when jeweler Eli Hertzberg commissioned the elegant street clock for his jewelry store on Commerce Street. The clock was built by the renowned Boston clockmaker E. Howard and Company, one of America's finest manufacturers of precision clocks. Back then, a public street clock wasn't just decorative. It served an important purpose. Many people didn't own reliable watches, so businesses like jewelers installed large clocks outside their stores. Customers would set their watches by them, and people relied on those clocks to keep appointments. The Hertzberg clock quickly became more than a timepiece. It became a landmark. When someone said, "Meet me at the clock," everyone knew exactly where to go. In 1910, Commerce Street was widened as downtown San Antonio continued to grow. Rather than leave the clock behind, the Hertzberg family moved both their jewelry store and the clock one block north to Houston and St. Mary Street, where it still stands today. Over the decades, generations of San Antonians met friends, waited for dates, gathered before parades, and used the clock as their favorite downtown meeting place. Think about it. Before texting someone, "I'm here," people simply agreed to meet under the Hertzberg clock. One of the most remarkable things about the clock is that it isn't electric. Inside a beautifully engineered mechanical movement powered by heavy weights, much like a giant grandfather clock, it has to be wound by hand with a special key on a regular schedule. The gears are made of brass, the frame is cast iron, and despite being nearly 150 years old, it still keeps time using the 19th century engineering. There are very few clocks like this still operating in the United States. The clock has had several close calls over the years. In the early 1980s, when redevelopment was taking place downtown, there were discussions about moving it away from its historical location. Fortunately, descendants of the Hertzberg family donated it to the Conservation Society of San Antonio, ensuring it would remain downtown where generations had come to know it. It has since undergone multiple careful restorations. Most recently, after stopping in 2022, skilled clock restorer Benny Courtney fabricated replacement parts, and in 2026, the clock began keeping accurate time once again. The restoration restored not only the clock itself, but also a cherished piece of San Antonio's history. Today, thousands of people walk past it every day. Some stop for photos. Others simply glance at it on their way to lunch or show it a nearby theater. Many probably don't realize they're standing beside one of San Antonio's oldest surviving pieces of downtown infrastructure. The Hertzberg clock has watched horse-drawn carriages give way to automobiles, witnessed downtown's booms and challenges, and quietly kept ticking through nearly a century and a half of change. The next time you're walking down Houston Street, take a moment to stop beneath the Hertzberg clock. Look up at its cast iron craftsmanship. Imagine thousands of people who have gathered there since the 1800s. And remember that before cell phones, before GPS, and before texting on here, there was one simple instruction every San Antonio understood. Meet me at the clock. I'm Gina Candelario with Cooper Sotheby's International Realty. If you enjoy discovering the history hidden in plain sight around San Antonio, be sure to follow along. There are stories like this all across our city. You just have to know where to look. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.